Okay, I really wanted to share this. I don't know if I've talked about it before in my other videos. I don't really watch them very often. But yeah, so when I win the lottery, so the only reason I'm doing this is because I literally have been ripped of my dignity. My ex-husband made me homeless in 2020, and then I was followed around by a bunch of traffickers, and then I made the mistake of recording myself vandalizing these traffickers and thieves. I vandalized their vehicles. So I've been through hell essentially for the last 4 years. And so my ambitions, so like everybody that I don't know who these people are that are like, they don't want me to win unless they win. And it's like, they may be my ex-in-laws. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't really care about them. What I care about is leaping what exists in the future, decades in the future to right now. So once I win my money, I'm taking care of my family, obviously. That's my main, my first trip, my first task is to make sure my family's taken care of. And then I'm inventing a few things. So one, I have to, I want to study myself. So I have all of these abilities that I've only had knowledge of that they're actual quantum abilities for about 4 years. So I need a team of scientists. So the first trip will be to MIT to demonstrate my ability live. Um, I'm going to travel when there's thunderstorms. That way, the scientists can hear me in the atmosphere. The louder the atmosphere is, the more fused I am. I don't think it matters like how loud the environment is as much as how much easier it is for people to perceive me or actually hear me being fused. So I may be fused with like every environment that I'm in, but I can't tell unless there are loud sound waves, where it's obvious that the sound waves sound like a person and that person's me. So I do what I need are quantum physicists. I need technology. So I'll be spending a lot of my investments will be in a lab, my own lab. I'll probably just create a business for this lab to exist, since human trials of anything is like against the law. But if I'm conducting the experiments myself, I just need to fly under the radar. I mean, if I'm the one that's being experimented on and it's my business, then that's my business. Um, but yes, so I want to find out how I work on a scale that's measurable and recorded so that I can convince scientists that are working in labs with other technology, that I can carry their messages to them from the future into the past. Or it would always be the present for the messages that I send or carry, but the recordings would be in the past. So it's scheduled time travel, basically. Um, that is the main thing that I need to work on the minute that I win the lottery. Also, the second thing that I'll be working on simultaneously, I won't be doing the second, it'll actually be at the same time. That thing will be a couple of patents for um, uh, what am I calling this? I guess a serum or an injection. It's a drug. So the drug I would be partially in. Like I said, I want to find out how I work biologically and chemically, how my body interacts on a quantum field, quantum dimensional level. So scanning those frequencies, I need to understand how the wave function works, and then I would be doing that with electromagnetic and radio technology that records and um, produces data so that I can share that with people that I'm working with. But the second thing is the serum. I want to invent a an injection for people so that their aging reverses up to 30 years or more, and also curing diseases. So there's something I never got COVID. I'm rarely ever sick. I think the worst thing that I've ever gotten is strep throat when I was little, but I don't get that anymore. I used to, if a mosquito would bite me, 5, 6 years ago, that would like be like a big welt, but like now I have no reaction to that either. So whatever has mutated in my DNA, I want to understand, and then I want to fuse. If the fusion happens even, I know the fusion happens with sound waves and elements in the atmosphere because I perceive that and other people perceive it too. I know that my body affects people in a way that my thoughts actually speak out of other people, which I actually am extremely annoyed about. I don't like that part. I don't necessarily want to turn it off, but I do want to at least understand it and find out what like I can do. Like I know if there were a World War III, I could warn a bunch of people of that, years in advance. Or if there were any kind of nuclear bombs or anything like an asteroid, anything cataclysmic, I can warn people. And that would be a good reason to, I guess, possess people. But I mean, as far as like using people for any other reason, it's like a messenger's calling what I am now, and I don't want that to be perceived as something like inhumane or abusive in any way. So I do want to understand that part of my body, and then again, the fusion effect, it's probably going to fuse with these elements. So I want to combine like mitochondria and pro-growth hormones and a a mixture of things that would reverse aging and then stop it, like just stop the aging effect. So, like, stop the cells from decaying. And I know that I just want to see what my blood does with other elements and chemicals to see what I can patent and just produce to save life and reverse aging and make, help people live longer. So those are the things, the two main things that I'll be doing with my money. I will be buying real estate just so I have bases. And then I'm not going to have like a helicopter or an airplane. I could just rent one if I really need something like that. But um, but yeah, so those are the two main things that I know will produce money. I really don't want to just sit here and like send lottery results to myself like forever. This is really even I think that if I weren't in this situation, I would like if I would have graduated like I planned to, and this year would be when I'd graduate. I actually would have been may have been next or last year. But yeah, when I before I became homeless, I was working full time. I was in school getting my school benefit, getting my bachelor's in healthcare administration so I can be a hospital administrator. And their medium range wage is like 500,000 a year. So I would have already had the money without doing any of this and with my ability already here. So I'm only doing this out of honestly desperation because I'm constantly eavesdropped on now and I mean, I drove to Colorado so I could get protection from being kidnapped in Houston. So I'm not like I hate criminals. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a thief. And I do invest in things like philanthropy. So I will be, once I produce a few things to help my money grow exponentially, like to from millions to billions to trillions, especially when I get this serum out of the human trials stage and get it approved by the FDA. I know that this serum will be like my family's legacy. But understanding what I am will help quantum physicists improve quantum technology, quantum computing, mechanics, and I think a time machine probably won't ever get approved to be built. But if I could be replicated, whether it's genetically by mutating other people who are really similar in genetic sequence as I am. Like my kids would be perfect candidates for that because they are half like me. Um, a little bit more than half like me. So my kids would be the best candidates, but my kids don't have this ability. Like I haven't had this ability since my entire life until I turned 33. And that's when the echoes started happening, the telepathy just like blew up, and I was attacked ever since then. My ex-in-laws did not want me to have telepathy for whatever reason. They wanted me to be religious and a psycho that believed in conspiracy theories, but I'm not that person. I believe in science, and I'm trying to do this in a scientific method kind of way, just so that I can prove myself to the science people, people with PhDs that will invest their time. And I mean, I would leave lotteries to scientists for sure that want to be my partners, to work on this with me. But if we were to replicate what I'm doing on any level, we would be like the most powerful team in the world, not to mention the most knowledgeable team in the world of the quantum realm of things. So that's my dream, is to do that. Um, Trying to get investors, it's not going to happen until I prove that what I'm doing scientifically is real. I have, demonstrations. I can have witnesses all day long, but I'm not Jesus. I'm not bringing people back from the dead. I'm not that influential. If I had those abilities, I'm sure people would just lock me up, because I mean, bringing, necromancy and stuff like that would probably, like if people say, oh, they want the savior to return, they want God to return, they want Jesus to return, or angels to be visible and like present. But when it all comes down to it, humans are, they 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 cling to fearing what they don't understand, and they usually attack what they do not understand. And so my main mission is to study myself so that I am understood, create technology that would support and amplify my abilities so that I can serve the population, especially people who are intelligent, the intelligence sectors, with services that otherwise would not exist. Um, and I'm really proud of like the science and engineering people out there that are intelligent and creating and inventing things. And I just want to be a part of that team so that I can just be a resource as far as carrying messages into the past so that they can leap what they're already creating faster. I'm the means of getting there. So they'll get there eventually, but I mean, a lot of the scientists and engineers that have invented things recently, they're old. And so the serum for me would be just helping them live longer, and so that they can enjoy what they've invented and benefit from, the recognition with their colleagues. So that's my dream job. I'll also, like, as far as philanthropy goes, I'm sickened by the human trafficking, especially of minors. I am like, it makes me sick thinking about children in pain, and children in our country, which it happens all over the world, but what people ignore is that it's happening in our country. Registered sex offenders of children being released, on probation within a year, and statistically just committing the same crimes. I would like that law to be changed, where if you get caught once, you are life in prison. People that get caught with drugs or assault someone out of self-defense, or, like people that do steal, like embezzle money or something, they go to jail longer than these sick perverts that they're not rehabilitatable. They are not going to change. And who's suffering? It's the children and the parents of those children who have to recover and heal from these assholes that essentially just ruin children's lives. So they're in my opinion the worst criminals, because their target are children. So yeah, my philanthropy will be going to centers where these families that are affected by this sick process of letting these assholes out of jail and back into society. Who cares if they're registered? So now we have to see that they live on our street. Like, I don't want that anymore. And I know that I'm the majority. I'm not the minority here. Um, Women outweigh men. At least it's 45 to 55. So, and women and children outweigh men by a lot. And not all women are, innocent either. A lot of there are like a handful of women that are also benefiting from exploiting children as foster parents or, people who adopt children just to traffic them. So a lot of things that I want to change in the world to make the world a better place so that our future is bright and healthy and not so depressing. So that would be my philanthropy work would be on that, and then obviously the science. The science and the biology, the healthcare system are what I'm investing in. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my message. I hope you are a future partner, and I wish you all Godspeed. I really do.